It's too dark out here to see, but trust me when I say it, I'm outraged at how hypocritical and sniveling the right wing is of YouTube. What I mean by that is, we have two big things going on right now, and they're interconnected and nobody seems to realize it. We're headed toward World War III with Korea and Syria and Russia and pretty much everybody else in the world. And on top of that, at home, domestically, far less of an issue, but still a self-actualization of right-wing politics. YouTube has become so corporate that they have just given up on the YouTubers that made them corporate and are demonetizing videos left and right. Of big YouTubers that aren't even particularly offensive, but because they might have been in some kind of scandal, such as PewDiePie, or they might say something that might in some weird way offend somebody, or definitely conspiracy theorists and right wing like MGTOW and MRA type videos. All this shit is being demonetized, and they are very, very mad about it. The reason why this is hypocritical is nobody was mad about it when YouTube was banning people. See, the right wing has two of about three beliefs when it comes to human rights. Human rights either come down, as far as the Constitution is concerned anyway, either you believe that the Constitution is an inspiration from God, that is basically the Bible, and that you cannot argue with the Constitution, that those rights are inalienable, they were created by a divine being, and we try to stick to it as good as possible in order to be as God, in order to be holy. It's a very romantic, very religious version that a lot of people aren't willing to get behind. There's the more secular version, secular humanist version, which is what the forefathers probably intended, where it is still romantic, it is still metaphysical, but is the achievement of human wisdom. That's why they call it the Enlightenment Age. It is the realization that mankind needs rights, mankind needs self-actualization through achievement, through certain things that you cannot take away from him. I mean, I guess you could, but then when you do, he is no longer a man. And if he is not a man, he is not responsible for what he does. If you take away humans' First Amendment right, he is not a man, he is an animal. And an animal can attack you. And an animal can rape you. An animal can go around just being vicious and having his balls dangle and give everybody rabies. You don't want an animal. I don't want an animal. Don't make us have more animals. Have man. The third way of interpreting the Constitution is that it's just a legal document. It's just a legal document that limits governmental powers in specific ways, and that's it. The problem even there is that even if you let's say that's what it's intended to be, is just a means of regulating the government and regulating society in such a way that we don't all become animals and murder hobo each other, you're still left with arguments of whether or not it would apply outside of the framework of government or outside of the framework of what it specifically says, because that's going to happen. There are always going to be situations where you wonder, does this apply or not? So, regardless of whether you want to look at it in the most romantic, goody two-shoe light, or the most, nihilistic, dreadful light, endless night, regardless of any of this, the fact of the matter is that people need rights for something. They need rights for meaning, because this is a very meaningless existence. And all these big right-wing YouTubers that are so upset about being demonetized have completely forgotten about the rights aspect of it. They didn't give a shit when other YouTubers were being banned for literally anything. And I'm not talking like bomb threats, I'm not talking fucking child porn, and even then, when you ban them, you were saying they're not people. Well then, too fucking bad. Too fucking bad if they do it. I don't want to hear about how we need to contact the authorities. No, we don't. Do you contact the authorities when a dog goes on a rampage and eats birds and shit? No, you don't. If that bothers you that much, then you need to validate the fact that that's a human being. And a human, men go to jail, dogs get put down. It is nobody's responsibility but your own if you are upset with what a dog is doing. So, what I'm trying to say is that if you care this much about losing the financial aspect, if you care this much about the potential money, because really, let's face it, nobody was making big bucks on YouTube. It's potential money, and you're this upset about it. Why the fuck aren't you more upset about losing your actual rights or not having them validated to begin with? It's just stupid. It's really, really stupid, and it's disgusting. It's disgusting to see that Americans, they really don't care about anything besides the bottom line. They really don't care about anything besides being able to say they're better than somebody else. That's why they're upset about this demonetization. They're upset because now there's no argument. There's no possibility at all of them making money sitting on their ass making videos. And that bothers them because they wanted to be able not only to make money without having to get a real job, but they also wanted to be able to have more money than other people, or at least more money than other YouTubers. Oh, I'm better than you. I have a big YouTube, paycheck. It really, that makes me want to vomit. And on top of that, that doesn't even compare to the YouTube admins, the ones that are banning everybody and the ones that are demonetizing everybody just because they can. I mean, let's face it, the entire concept of a robotic moderator system, the automated system that takes down videos that are copyrighted or and sometimes it doesn't even work right, is because they're too lazy to go around manually banning people and suppressing accounts and things. You know how much work that would be with a big website like YouTube to be going around having people type away at the keyboard all day looking for people copyright infringing shit? Not that it matters, because it ain't like they have any specific protocols that they have to follow where some people they won't ban. They can ban whoever the fuck they want to, apparently. But it would still be a lot of work because there's millions upon millions and millions of fucking YouTube accounts. So they just would be looking at YouTube's all day long. Ban. It's very inefficient. It's much more efficient to just have a machine that randomly shoots at the population, kind of like they just bombed a fucking Afghanistan landscape with no concept of whether or not they actually hit ISIS. It's just, hey, they hit brown people. I'm sure they hit some ISIS along the way. And that's the way a ban system works. Hey, some bad people probably got hurt. Trolls, spammers, hackers. Ooh. Because that was the problem. Every once in a while, a hacker might do something that's really fucked up, but in retrospect, not that often. And moderators can't legally stop him anyway. You got trolls that, if you're such a pussy and such a fucking nitwit that it bothers you, a troll, and the problem is you, not the troll. And then you got spammers that exist because of the way capitalism is, because the way capitalism has always been. And you're gonna rely on this fucking narcissistic despot that has the mentality of a 10-year-old to fucking solve that. But you're worried about how you can't monetize your videos. Now, how does this all tie in with World War III? Well, I'm not saying it directly does. I'm not saying there's any big conspiracy by Russia or China or whatever. I'm not fucking Democratic National Convention. What I'm saying is that good that all of this is happening. It's about goddamn time. At this point, it'd be nice to have some fucking peace and quiet. It'd be nice to be able to open up with a laptop or turn on the desktop and not see a "you got banned" message. It'd be nice to wake up in the morning and not have to deal with the monotony of day-to-day living. But meanwhile, we're all, on eggshells because of the surveillance state, and because, we can't say that, we have to be patriotic, and we do this song and dance. Fuck it all. I just want the world to be able to have a nice, quiet nap. Just go to sleep. And I don't mean go to sleep and don't worry about your government being fucking tyrannical dictators. Don't worry about the fact that the mafia runs everything. I'm saying go to sleep, that have some fucking peace and quiet.